All right, let's see if I'm on. Still not really getting my notification. Give me a second. All right, cool. Hey everybody, this is Wild Blade from Creative Media Vault in Tokyo, Japan, and we're going to be continuing with this Spirits of the Lost Wind game tutorial build. And one reason I'm kind of like, focusing on this right now is I need to get back to my main game, which is which is CDULO: The Outer Rim, right? That is going to be my main Kickstarter game. So I think a lot of people have kind of asked me, like, why I'm actually working on this game instead of focusing on the actual Kickstarter game. And that's actually a very good question. So the reason why I'm doing this game is because it's for a few reasons. One, like I put a lot of work into the CDULO game, like doing like but that is actually a very large game. Because I'm gonna have like multiple characters, multiple levels, and it's got a full storyline, right? So there's a lot of functionality that I kind of want to that I've already implemented into that main game. But there's a lot more functionality I'll probably want to implement into it. So what's happening is I was kind of getting overwhelmed with the scale of the game because I'm kind of working on this at the moment. I'm working on this game by myself. So in the game that I'm referring to is this one, my main Kickstarter game, because this CDULO game is actually connected to a very my Wildfire expanded universe, right? Which is a very large universe with lots of characters and multiple storylines. So that is the main project that I'm working on, but it's connected to my comics, it's connected to my novel, it's connected to other video games actually. So, due to the large scale of this game and everything that I'll need to implement into it, um, it it did get a little bit overwhelming as I was trying to implement, like trying to figure out how to implement all the functionality that I want in the game while I was actually programming it. So, actually, I needed to take a break from working on this game, kind of just take a breather away from it, and so I could kind of refocus on the actual functionality that I want to put into it. And that's why I started working on the Spirits of the Lost Wind game, because this doesn't involve multiple. This is actually a much simpler game. The dynamics of it are completely different because this is a point and click game, whereas this game right here is actually a Metrovania style side scroller, right? But the functions that I want to put into the game are actually easier to program on something like this. So what I did is, like, it's okay to work on multiple game projects at once, especially if you find yourself getting stuck on a bigger project. Sometimes it's good to just like take a break and go back to, like, basically kind of go back to basics. So it's okay to take a break. Yeah, okay, this game that I'm working on, this is my main game. This is the one that I'm working on. This is the one that I really want to complete. But right now, like, I need to figure out some of the like smaller details, some of the smaller functionalities. Jump over to a smaller game, a little small game project. Nothing this big. This was only supposed to be a 1 day build, but but I kind of got carried away with it. But the thing is, though, I've actually learned a lot by doing this game as well. So a lot of the functionality that I want to put into my main Kickstarter game, I didn't really know how to do that until I started doing this one because it's a much smaller project and it's only got like one character for me to focus on, and there's not such a huge connection to the storyline. So that's why I'm actually doing this and making this template, because I'm actually this will make it easier when I'm working on my Kickstarter game, because now all I have to do is if I need a dialogue system, which I've already got in my other game. But if I need a dialogue system or something like that, all I can do is just like copy the code from this smaller project and just port it over into my CDUL game, and just switch some graphics, and there we go. So I'm basically using this as a code base. I'm like, well, what if and the smaller game is good for testing different ideas. So that's why it's not a bad idea to work on other projects. If you find yourself kind of getting burnt out on the one that you're currently working on. All right, so what I'm going to be trying to do tonight is I've got a couple things. um, I'm gonna start trying to implement a puzzle system because like a puzzle system that will maybe allow access to other areas. And I'm gonna be working on like puzzle system and maybe some animated doors and maybe some damageable doors, right? And so, just to show you what I've got in here so far, we're going to go back to, this is the game kit that I'm working on, which you can download, and I'll keep on updating this thing, updating the link to this thing as I make changes. But we can go to the sample scene. If you've downloaded my game kit, you can go to the sample scene, which is huge right now. And you'll notice that I've taken out a lot of the enemies. So I've gone to my sample level. Sorry, I've gone to my enemy. Then I've kind of like turned a lot of these guys off, except for this stalking enemy because we were dying a lot in that. But one thing I did implement in this, like a new thing that I've just kind of put in here, is if you go to the sample level and you go to Interactables, um, and you turn on Interactables. Now, this isn't in the updated version yet, so I'll update that later this week. But if you go to Interactables, you will see that now I have a Grapple Box, right? So what this will allow us to do is this will allow our player to actually pick up and move objects, right? And so I'll demonstrate that very quickly. Hold on, let me turn the music down on this. Alright, so, like, right now, oh, I forgot I did leave one enemy in here. And I'll show you why I did that in a little bit. But right now, you'll notice that the player has this, like, little up arrow. Well, if I come close to this yellow box here and I press this key, I can actually move this object, right? And I can use this to kind of, like, make a puzzle or, like, kind of move things out of the way. So the key thing is like if I get here and I just press the left mouse click, well I can like move this object. And if the enemy gets to be too annoying, if I can time this right, and I hit this key, I can actually launch this projectile at him and kill him. Yeah, I did that. Alright, so now we can actually move objects and we can launch objects. So I'll show you how this works on the sample scene so that you'll get an idea of how it works in the main scene. So on the sample scene, what I basically did is I just created this box right here. And that's coming up in my sprite mask. I'll just click on it down here. So it's just like, I haven't turned this into a prefab yet. But it's a grappable box, right? Which I don't know if that's an actual word or not, but that's just what I'm calling it, so deal with it. Alright, so it's a grabbable box, sorry. And in this grabbable box, it's basically just an empty game object with a sprite renderer. And what I've done is I've added a 2D box collider, which is not set to trigger. And I have also added a rigid body 2D, which is set to dynamic. And hold on, let me make sure that you guys can actually see my screen, because I noticed that there was a problem with my previous Twitch stream. That's what I thought. Let me drag this down here so that you guys could see. Yeah, I forgot about my layout, right? So because when I'm playing video games, I have a different layout. So let me move this here. I'll move the whole webcam down so that you guys can kind of see this a little bit better. Actually, I think I'll go ahead and turn the webcam off just for more better viewability. And I guess like yeah, that should be better, I think. Yeah, you guys don't necessarily need to see me. All right, so anyways, like so what I've done here is like for this grabbable box, so I have my box collider 2D, I have my rigid body 2D, and I created a script. So this is like my launchable object script. So there were two scripts that I needed to make for this, right? So on the grabbable box, I have a launchable object script, which basically just kind of looks like this, right? So we have a public class launchable object. I created a grab controller, which you can kind of see, um, yeah, which you can kind of see right there. So I've got my grab controller. Actually, I don't really need this so much. That's something that I'm sorry, I forgot that I don't necessarily need this. Anyway, the most important part is like I have a public bool which is launchable. I have damage, I have a speed, and I have a game object which is trigger collider, which is actually an empty game object that I've kind of parented to this right here. Um, and then we have our layer mask. I just put this here just in case I wanted one. I don't necessarily need it for this. And then I have a private rigid body 2D. And then in my start, my rigid body get component 2D is get component is rigid body 2D, and my trigger collider is set active to false by default, right? So like if I go into the update code, I have like if is launchable equals true, and input dot get mouse 2. So I'm using this middle mouse button to actually launch the object if it's a launchable object. Otherwise, the player could just pick it up and set it down, and I can't fire it. So in Unity, when I go to my grabbable box, when I go down to this code, you'll notice that this one is set to launchable. So that's why I can actually fire it at the enemy after I release it. But if this was off, then like I would not have the option of like using this to batter my enemies, right? And it's got its damage, it's got its speed. The trigger collider is set to this. Now the reason why I need a trigger collider is because right now at the beginning the trigger collider is set to false, but the reason why I need a trigger collider is because I don't really want this interacting with my player while the player is picking it up. So this trigger collider only activates when the basically when the object is set down and it's not touching the player, right? And then I can just kind of launch it. So this could be a character actually like picking up a box and then putting it down and then just kicking it, or it could be whatever you want. But I'm just kind of go ahead and programming the functionality in here for people who might be interested in like using that in their games. All right, and let's see, what else do I have? I've got and this is basically the launch is basically just done on a raycast. So you can just like copy this code once I update it on you copy this code from the template after I update it. Probably I'll try to update my templates on Wednesday and Friday, but I'm not going to spend too much more time on this game because I want to start using this code and the options that I'm putting in here into and switching them over to my main CDULO game. All right, and yeah, so yeah, you can have a look at that later, but this script is actually pretty short. There's not really too much to it. All right, so on this box, grabbable box item, that's the code that we have, and we have these settings here. And the other code that I needed to create was actually on my player temp. So when I go down here, you'll notice that I have a grab controller script. That is actually the script that this one was mentioning. Well, I don't necessarily need it here, so I'm going to go ahead and comment this out. If I need it for something later, then I can just like uncomment it. All right, but the grab controller script that we have on our player, it's just got a grab detect, a box holder. So these are like basically where the objects that will kind of detect and hold the object. We have our float for ray distance, and then we have our bool as is this picked up or is it not picked up, right? And so on the player, what this looks like is we have our player. We have empty game object. Well, we have two empty game objects. One is for grab detect, and the other one is for box holder. Right, so the grab detect is like just simply this one right here, and for the grab detect, I actually put this arrow in here, just to let me know where it is on the screen. For the box holder, the box holder is just kind of got this icon with it. So in this script, what I've done is I've had to after I attach this script to my player. I just dragged these two empty empty game objects, well, will be empty game objects, into these slots. And I set the ray distance to 2. You can set it for 2 or 3 or whatnot. I have used this on a 2D this code on a 2D platformer game before, and in that game, it actually makes a difference where you actually set your ray, because if the ray is too low, the player won't be able to grab the object, or if it's too high or above the object that you're trying to grab, it won't detect it, right? But since this is not a 2D platformer, and we're not dealing with gravity or like the y-axis so much, not in that sense, it was very easy for me to set this up. So what I've done is in the code for grab detect, we have these objects right here. I went ahead and in the start I set picked up to false by default. And then in the update function, we have our raycast, our grab, which is the grab check. And we've got this code here. Just to this kind of standardized code. Just tell us where the raycast is going, and what we're going to use it to detect. And then I have if grab controller collider is null, if there's basically nothing picked up, and grab check controller tag is movable item. And this is the important part. So if you'll notice on our grabbable box here, the tag is already set to movable item. I didn't call this box because I might actually want to have different types of movable items. So basically in this game or in this template, anything that you want to move, set it to movable item. And then if you want your movable item to be a launchable item, then you can just like check this box, and that'll make it movable and something that you can like throw across the screen, if necessary. And you can set these to whatever you want. Right, so that's why I've just named basically all movable items in this template, all movable objects, whether it's like a door, a box, a bomb, or whatever. Just make sure that you name it movable item, and you should be good. All right. So let's see, what else do we have? We've got in this code array distance. Yeah, that's pretty standard. There's not really too much to this code either. So then what I've done is on the left mouse click button. So if get mouse button equals 0, like grab check dot collider game object transform dot parent equals box holder. What this does is this actually sets the box holder as the we're kind of like stating that we want the box holder to be the parent, become the parent of the object that we run into, instead of the actual player. Right, and the rest of this code is pretty easy. What this does is it sets the get component rigid body 2D to kinematic, and that can be true. And then at the end, like we have if picked up is true, we're going to set picked up to true. And I put that there. We're not actually using this boolean so much at the moment, but I put it there as an option because, like, in case I want to use it, for example, in the launchable code, I was actually going to use this. If so, I was going to actually pull data from this grab controller and just say, okay, well, if this is set to true, but it wasn't really necessary. But I'm just going to go ahead and leave the boolean in there anyway. Because I'm thinking that there might be use for it later. And then after this, get mouse button left or 0, else, if basically if this mouse button is no longer like pressed, or if I let go of it, then it'll just kind of drop the object and it'll set the parent to null, right? And so that is just for picking up and moving the object. So the launchable script is for what to do with the object after it's been like set down, right? That's like, okay, is this a launchable object? Am I just going to leave it here, or am I going to shoot it across the screen? Basically. So those are what we have set up here. So just on the player script, we got a grab controller, which has a grab detect and a box holder, array distance, and make sure and we have an option to make sure that if it's picked up or not. And then down here for the grabbable box, we have our launch script, which we could set for is launchable, is not launchable, just to see if we want to use this as a weapon or if it's just a piece of furniture. All right, and so that's what we have on this one. So when we go to our level 1 scene, which always shows up like this for some reason. Our player Kuramiya here actually has the same setup. So if I go to character, and then I go to player, and I go to Kuramiya, she's got her, sorry, I go to player. She has her grab controller script, which I just copied from the previous theme. So I didn't even put much effort into that one at all. So I just copied that, and I just copied the same box. And now when I play the game, like Kuramiya can actually run around and pick up objects and move them. Turn that down a little bit more. Alright, yeah, so let me go over here and let me zoom in a little bit. Alright, so this is located at the front of Kuramiya, right? So when I go here, I can actually pick this object up, move it over here, and drop it. And then I can like run around, and if there's another box, I can do the same thing. And then I have to make sure that I'm, when I'm picking up objects, I have to make sure that I'm like actually facing it. Alright, and now, so it's a good idea to actually hold the, left mouse key, the action key, when you're approaching an object. And now if I set this down, I can like, just launch it. But, alright, that launch was pretty sorry because I forgot that the scale of this game is much bigger, so I haven't actually updated that on this. So in order to update the speed of the launch, I suppose I should go in here and like make that more than like 5 or something. So I'll go to Grabbable Box, and this is already placed in under Interactables here. So I'll go to Grabbable Box, and I will go to the speed. So I think I'll make the speed about maybe something like 30, and I'll make, well, maybe speed will be like something like, yeah, 30, and then the distance, I think I'll make that one maybe 20 or something like that. Alright, so I'll approach. And the good thing about this game is that since it's point and click, I can actually hold down the left click button and click with the right button, and it won't. The two don't really interact with each other because the left click is set for interaction anyway. I can just run over here, grab this, right, and then launch it, right. And that's still a pretty sorry launch, so I'm gonna have to. Now she might have a little, because you have to kind of line up line that up pretty well. So hold on, let's see if I can launch it from here. Okay, that's a pretty sorry launch, but yeah, you get the idea. So anyways, like you can kind of play with that. I'm gonna maybe make this like 100. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because we got to get to our puzzle system. So the reason why I made this grabbable and movable object actually was because I did like want the character to be able to move objects and to be able to. I thought it would be cool for them to be able to like take a door or a wall or something and just throw it at them, throw it at an enemy, like get the hell out of here. But as I was working on that, I'm like, actually, this is kind of like the beginning of a puzzle system anyway. So we're gonna take this movable object as a root for our puzzle system, our simple puzzle system. I hope it's gonna be simple. Every time I say something's gonna be simple though, it winds up being complicated. So, all right, so I've got this. It's gonna run down here and turn them right here, turn it right there, and then boom. And that didn't do. That's kind of anti-climatic. But anyways, you can play around with these settings. But anyway, we can move stuff. We can throw it. So that's good enough right now. All right. So now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and start working on our puzzle system. And let me check to make sure that this is working correctly. Yeah. Sometimes my chat room doesn't really show up on my screen. I'm using multiple screens, by the way, so that's why I keep looking around like this. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this movable object and we're going to try to turn this movable object system into a puzzle system. All right, and this can be like a puzzle like that can be used to like theoretically unlock certain areas, or I don't know, like show hidden items, or like maybe access doors or something. All right, so the way that we're going to do this is I haven't done this before, so I'm just gonna wind up like trying to copy code, I think. But under I don't really like starting there, so I'm just gonna create an empty game object. So I'm gonna go to create empty, um, and I'm gonna name this maybe mm, puzzle one. All right. And for puzzle one, I think I am going to go ahead and add a sprite renderer. I tend to use a sprite renderer for a lot of my empty game objects anyway, just because like it's hard for me to like keep track of the size of stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and use our default like square. Okay, and I'll go ahead and bring this up here to about maybe 9 or something. All right, and let's see. So I'm gonna go ahead and rotate this one a little bit, just to kind of match the layout. Oh no, actually I don't want to do that yet. There's a reason I don't want to do that. All right, so I'm gonna drop this over here, and I think what I'll need to do now is inside of this, I will need to create a few different areas. So I'm going to go ahead and lower, like change the color of this because I'm getting tired of looking at white squares. And I'm going to lower the opacity of it a little bit. Actually, no, I'll keep it kind of high. And then what we'll do is inside of here, I'm going to create another empty game object. All right, and they're going to also add a sprite renderer to this, and we're going to use the same like kind of square. All right, and we're going to put this one on layer 10, and we're going to shrink this guy down. Yeah, so we're going to shrink this guy down to something a little bit more manageable in here. Yeah. I think I'm going to create 2 of these, so I'll put this as puzzle piece 1. Alright, so puzzle piece 1, and I'm going to go ahead and give this guy a tag of puzzle piece 1. Okay, so Unity's like, how many tags are you going to add to me? I don't know, be quiet. So, puzzle piece 1. So I'm going to go ahead and give this the same, same tag. Alright, so puzzle piece 1 has a tag of puzzle piece 1. Yay. Alright, so let's see. Now we're going to maybe just gonna go ahead and copy this. Great. And we're gonna name this one puzzle piece 2. And if you'll notice in my code, I like to give things like a generic name because, you know, one is easier. That makes it easier to kind of transition to any other game. And 2, I'm lazy. So I think the main reason is I'm lazy. I'm just making excuses to try to sound cool, but the real I'm lazy and I hate coding. So that's why I'm doing this. So I'm going to put puzzle piece 1 here. At least I'm honest though. And puzzle piece 2, I'll go ahead and drag this over here. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be, it could be like a door, or like theoretically it could be like a door, or like maybe something you have to kind of piece together in order to like, you know, clear the level. All right, so I'm going to put these 2 things in here, and of course for puzzle piece 2, I'm going to have to make another tag. So I think basically for my puzzle pieces, I'll probably just do, and I have to make sure that these are kind of spelled the same way. But puzzle piece 2, okay, same spelling, yeah, okay, I think that's good. Nailed it. All right, so we got our puzzle piece 1 and our puzzle piece 2. Make sure that this has the puzzle piece 2 tag. All right, so, and you know, you're kind of getting the idea. So we're gonna have a basically an empty game object with the puzzle pieces that we need, and we can kind of the reason I like this style is because I can kind of arrange these puzzle pieces any way that I want to. They don't even necessarily need to be inside of here, really. Um, but I'll leave this one here for now. All right, so we have our puzzle, or puzzle piece 1, puzzle piece 2. Now, I think I'm going to need to add a script to this, so I'm going to add a new script, and I'm going to add a puzzle script. Call it puzzle script or puzzle manager. Yay, that sounds like important. Alright, so I'm adding my puzzle manager here. And for my puzzle manager, I'm going to need, basically, I think I'm going to limit how many puzzle pieces I have, possibly to 6, right? Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and open up my puzzle manager. And the first things I'm going to need are going to be some empty game objects. So I'll put in, or I mean some game objects. So I'll put in like public game object. It'll be puzzle piece 1. All right, and don't forget that. Now, if you'll notice, my coding is really simple. Like, really, you know, I try to use booleans as much as possible because, like I said, I think booleans are much easier for beginners. And also, like, if I'm using booleans, you know, a more advanced programmer, they'll be able to go through this and say, okay, well, he's using booleans for this, but I know a simpler way to do it, or I know a cooler way to do it using mathematical computations. Whereas the beginner is just like, okay, this is on, this is off. All I have to do is just like kind of drag this into here, you know. So I'll use a lot of booleans and game objects for my programming. And it might not be the most effective, but you know, like once I get better at coding, or once people are using this get better at coding, they can always kind of switch it up. So I think booleans are much easier to understand than mathematical complex computations than for a lot of people, because I'm not a math person. I hate math. My brother was a math person. You know, so but I'm simply not that type. So we're gonna use these for the puzzle pieces, and then we're gonna need to create some booleans. So public bool, public bool, and then we're going to use okay, so we're going to use a boolean, and that's going to be is active, right? One puzzle piece 1 active. Yeah. Okay, puzzle piece 1 active. Huh. All right, something. I'm checking something on my other screen. Okay, and this will be puzzle piece 2 active, and then we're gonna do like a puzzle piece 3 active, and then we got puzzle piece 4 active, and then we'll have puzzle piece 5 active. Okay. And also, like, I'll go ahead and do puzzle piece 6 active. Alright, so there we have our game objects. This will be our game objects, like, to hold our puzzle pieces wherever they're at. So, like a game object holding puzzle pieces. And then, boolean to activate puzzle pieces, And then in the start, we are going to use our start. And for our start, we're going to just cut all of these booleans off, actually. So we'll just like put puzzle piece 1 active is like puzzle piece active dot equals false. So we'll set all of these to false at the beginning, and we're also going to set all of these puzzle pieces to off by default. So to inactive by default. So we'll put like puzzle piece 1 dot set active, and that will be false by default. All right. And so you're just going to copy and paste these and just change the numbers up. I do a lot of Boolean based programming because I find it's actually like easier for me, faster, simpler, and easier for me to understand. What did I do? Oh, I just did a find on something. Okay, hold on, let me highlight this again. All right, and there we go, like 6. So I'm just gonna set all of these to false, and then I'm just gonna do the same thing for these. Okay, and there we go. All right, so I've got those all set up. And now, we're not really going to use the update function so much. I tend to leave the update function in there anyway, you know, just in case I need to use it. But in this case, we're just going to use our onTrigger enter 2D. OnTrigger enter 2D. I forgot that it does that. Yeah, onTrigger enter 2D. All right, so I think the code that we're going to need for this is if I'll need to change this to other actually because I don't like using collision. So we'll change this to other, and then I'll put like if and no, damn it, I'm having a hard time typing today. If, all right, so other dot compare tag will be, and this is where the magic happens, right? So so if other dot compare tag is, you know, what did I name that thing? So this is where your naming conventions actually come in pretty handy. Okay, so yeah, puzzle piece 1. I think I spelled this the same. So I'll just copy it from here. And yeah, something doesn't look right here. Let me check my script. So where's my player script? Yeah, sometimes I get confused on the yeah, that's right, I do need parentheses in here. All right, so let me go to my puzzle manager. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. So if other.compare tag puzzle piece 1. All right, so what this will do is basically we're just going to set this puzzle piece 1 set active to true. Okay, so this will be like a set active to true. And then we're also going to set this puzzle piece 1 that set active to true as well. Okay, So now we can go ahead and test this. And so everything basically in this code, we just set up like some empty game objects, and then we like set up some booleans to basically turn them on and off. And then in the void, we went ahead and set everything to basically set everything to off. So like this object is not viewable, so it's not set active. We can't view it. And also like this puzzle piece is also set to false, right? So that shows that it's not active at the moment. Okay, so when we go back into Unity, and I go up here. All right, so this is what our code kind of looks like at the moment. And when I go to puzzle piece 1, I'm just going to drag this in here. And I can go ahead and do the same thing for 2. All right, and these are all set to false right now. So now what I need is I need to go to my puzzle pieces, and I need to add some code to them as well. Well, actually, do I need to add code to these guys? Maybe I don't need to add code, but one thing I will need to add is I will need to add some colliders to these. So I'll go to a box collider 2D, and I will set this to trigger, right? So I'll set both of these to trigger. Now, keep in mind, this is actually on these 2 boxes inside of this puzzle manager, or inside of this puzzle right here. So I've got these guys. They have our box collider 2D, which are triggers. So good. Is that good? No, that's not good. Hold on, I screwed up. Let me take the box colliders off of these, because actually we don't need the box colliders for these. We need the box colliders for our actual puzzle object. All right, so what I need to do is I need to create a puzzle object. So I'm going to grab this grabbable box right here, and I'm going to duplicate that, and I'm going to drag it out over here. So we're going to change this this grabbable box to actually something else. So let me go up here to my got a bit confused there. Give me a sec. Let's see. Go to okay. So we'll change the. So I'll change this to puzzle piece 1 holder. That's what that should be. So puzzle piece 1 holder. This will be puzzle piece 2 holder. Okay, and now these guys don't need the yeah, these guys can stay untagged. Yeah, so these guys can stay untagged because that tag actually needs to go on this right here. So instead of movable object, I'm going to change this over to puzzle piece 1. Okay, so so this will be puzzle piece 1. And that means I'm going to need to kind of change the script on this as well, and change the name on it. So yeah, all right. So instead of grabbable box, it will be puzzle piece 1. It's just got a name of puzzle piece 1 and a tag of puzzle piece 1. And now, what I need to do is, I guess the easiest way to do this would actually be just to copy the script, to copy the grabbable object script. So we have our script on Kuramiya here. And let me check my grab controller script to see if there's anything that I would need to like change. So okay. Yeah, I think that should be all right. So I don't know. Like I might want this to still be I might want this one to still be movable object actually, so that my player can pick it up. Okay. I'm going to actually switch this one back to movable item so that the player can actually pick it up and move it around. And then I think inside of here I will add a I've already got a trigger collider. Yeah. All right. So all right. So for this, I think I'm just going to cheat and I'm going to put this as puzzle piece 1, right? Because it's already got an empty game object inside of it. So I'm going to turn this on and I'm going to just name this like I'll just leave it as trigger collider because well, why not? So let's see if this actually works. So I've got this. It's not this puzzle piece will not be a launchable object, and it will do like a no damage, like 0 damage. Like so we can just zero all of this out. And I think this might actually work because we already kind of set everything up in the movable object or the grabbable object script. So let's see if this works. And I'm going to go ahead and change the color on this a little bit. Yeah, so I'll change it to that. All right, so yeah, let's see if this actually works to activate. So when I start the game, so we should still be able to pick this up and we should be able to move it around, but when the trigger collider bumps into this puzzle object over here, all right, so we got nothing. Yeah, we can't see our we can't really see our items here. So when I come over here and I click yes, and I pick, okay, I can still pick up this box and nothing happened. Why? Okay. Okay, hold on. I'm not seeing this on my screen. Why am I not seeing this? Okay, so puzzle piece 1. I can understand why I'm not seeing you, but why am I not seeing... Let's see, you're good. You're puzzle 1, puzzle holder, vault. Okay, yeah, so these guys should be set to off. This guy, however, should be visible. 10. I didn't notice that he wasn't actually visible in the scene before. So let me see why that is. Default, square. You are already set to 1. Huh. Okay, that's weird. It should be showing, according to what I know. Alright, let's try moving him out here and see what might possibly be going on. Let me move this guy out here. Oh, that's weird. Okay, it looks like I've got a bit of a problem here. Give me a second. If I can find out why that's happening. Let's see, I go to, let me just come up in here and do a empty game object. Yeah, sprite. actually seen this happen before, I don't think. The acorn works. Okay. Huh. Okay, that's kind of weird. I need to find out what's going on and why this isn't rendering. Let's see. 100. Yeah. Okay, that's not rendering for some reason, and I don't know why. I mean, it should be. Yeah, I wasn't having any problem with this before. Let me troubleshoot this for a little bit. But you get the idea of what we're working on. I'm just trying to figure out why it's not showing up on my screen is all. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this one showed up. Let's see. I hate it when this happens. All right, let me do a little bit of troubleshooting on this. Actually, and that's one reason why. That's one of the good things about actually having a sample scene. So I'm going to save this here, and then I'm going to go back and I just copied that puzzle, and I'm going to go back into our sample scene, and I'm just going to kind of paste the puzzle in here. And see if I can find out where it's located, where it's at the moment. Okay, there we go, there we go, there we go. Okay, so it's actually showing up here fairly well. Okay, and let's see if I move him like over here or something. So that's why like having this sample scene is actually very, very good for like troubleshooting. So you know, because like the other scene might be too complicated or overrun with stuff. This one right here, however, you know, it's a lot simpler. So let me go back to my. Okay, there we go. For some reason, this was set on the z-axis of God knows what, and I have no idea why. All right, yeah, sorry about that. So now let's play. Yeah. Yeah, so like that's why it's like, you know, when you're actually like programming a new game, it's actually not a bad idea to have a little sample scene like that, just set up. So now if I run over here and I click my you know, my button, I can pick this up, and if I run in here, nothing happens. Why? All right, so let's see. Hmm. Hmm. All right, so I'm wondering if both of my puzzle piece holders are also set to like some really, really funky settings. All right, yeah, those are good. Nah, they should be there. Yeah, they're both visible. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, we got this showing up on the screen. So yeah, this happens when you're programming anyway. So you know, don't worry about it so much. So you got puzzle piece one, puzzle piece one. Okay, puzzle piece holder, puzzle piece holder. Okay, yeah. So what I need to do is I need to possibly go ahead and so puzzle manager. Let's check my script again. Okay, so if puzzle piece 1 okay. What I need to do is I need to activate the holders. So, so right now I've got like puzzle piece 1 set active true. So, yeah, I kind of lost track of what I was doing there. So puzzle piece 1, where's my puzzle piece holder? Yeah, so my actual puzzle piece here is what I need. Puzzle piece 1. Okay, puzzle piece holder. The trigger should be activating this anyway. Okay, so that's not a trigger. This one is trigger. Alright, so, and that is puzzle piece 1. Right. So puzzle piece holder. Okay, puzzle. Alright, so I think what I need to do is I need to just drag this in here. And let's see if that works. No. Yeah, I know why that didn't work. All right, so what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna also need to create like the puzzle piece holders. So we're gonna take this one, and we're also going to create a couple more game objects. So this will be like objects. These are not the objects holding. This is the actual puzzle piece. Puzzle piece interactives. All right. For puzzle piece interactives for puzzle pieces. I'll rename that later. All right, and then this will be the puzzle piece holders. There. The internal piece that is shown once puzzle that is shown once the puzzle piece is collected. So this should be the one that's actually set active, I think. So puzzle piece 1 holder. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and name that puzzle piece 1 holder. 2 holder. All right. 3 holder. 4 holder. And 5 holder. And then like, yeah, 6 holder. Alright, so we'll do these as the holders. And then, hold on, let me check something here. Make sure I'm not getting any messages. Alright, thank you. Alright, there we go. Alright, so now all of these should be set to, all of these holders should be set to false. Yeah. Alright, there we go. So all of those should be set to false. And so now when I run into puzzle piece 1, yeah, this puzzle piece 1 holder should be set to true. And then this should actually fix the problem. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to take this puzzle piece 1 holder and drag it down here. And then I'll need to take this puzzle piece 2 holder and drag it down here. Alright, so now let's see. When I press play, like both of these holders should be set to off, I think. Okay, good. So both of these guys are set to off, this guy is set to on, and then when I come over here and grab this, and I run in here, still nothing's happening. Why? So, oh, I know why. Because we did not add any, yeah. So we have this set up and it looks beautiful, but we didn't add any like rigid bodies or anything to this. So I need to add a box collider to this as well. So I'll go ahead and add my box collider. So I'm adding my box collider 2D here, and this will be set to trigger. And I don't necessarily need a rigid body on this. I mean, you could toss one on here if you wanted to, but because it's a puzzle and I don't really think we're going to have any physics with it, it's probably not necessary. So I can go ahead and move this up here. And now when I hit play, that should work correctly. Okay, so I'll go ahead and hit this to pick up, and then when I run up in here, still no. Why? Alright, so what I'll do is I will add a little bit of debugging code to this. So, it's trigger, yeah. I wonder if my other collider is getting in the way of this, actually. Okay, let me check the code again. Puzzle piece 1, yeah. Yeah, that should be fine. So puzzle piece 1, puzzle piece 1. Okay, got a circle collider in here, which is a trigger. Yeah, so I'm just kind of making sure that maybe I'll need to increase the size of this one. Okay, and then for the actual puzzle, that should be a trigger as well. Okay, good. Alright, so yeah, that should be set up correctly. Give me a second. Let me jump up in here. And we got our puzzle piece holders. Okay. So void on other puzzle piece 1. Puzzle piece holder set active true. Puzzle piece 1. Active true. I just messed something up. This is actually a pretty simple code, so I don't know why like this isn't working correctly. So yeah. So as soon as I run up in here, Ah, hold on. Okay, that might actually be the problem. Maybe when I'm interacting with this, actually maybe it's not, maybe this is actually becoming um okay, so when I'm interacting with this, actually I forgot this object is a parent when I'm a parent of the player when I'm actually holding it. Okay, so that means like I'm probably gonna have to try a different approach to this because I didn't think about that. Hmm. Okay, well, let me piddle around with this for a little bit and figure out why this isn't working. So when I'm entering this box, basically, I think I think basically what's happening is my box object is actually becoming a parent of the player. And so when I'm entering into the zone, it's not really detecting it. So let me play around with this and like find out see how to get this working, and then I will probably jump back on with it after I've found a solution. Then I'll just explain what I did. All right, so like I'll go ahead and end the stream right now while I troubleshoot this, because I don't want to bore you guys with me piddling around with it too much. And then I'll be back once I get it fixed, and then we'll continue with building our puzzle system. But that won't be the final broadcast stream today. It's like 4 something a.m. in the morning, and I should be sleeping anyway. So I'll go ahead and jump off, get a little bit of rest, and then I'll come back to this after I figured out what's going on with my puzzle system. Okay, so I will catch you guys later. Everyone have a good one, and don't forget to stop by my nerdy lunchtime